got vengeful fighter.
How can
and
she use it in
pacifist.
this
What
negotiation
happened?
easily like this?
Oh boy, this is wow, highly dangerous cat. Okay. All right. So you know what? She is at best she is a religious leader. I'm gonna give her a D10 of will.
Ooh.
I'm gonna give her a D6 of negotiation because I think she should have some form of negotiation. She's
Hmm.
sorry, cat.
She's had to
I
talk
mean,
with people and lead and make deals at some point.
right, and she's also the unique thing, right, is that she's a high-ranking religious leader in a religion that it doesn't always get along with other religions that she gets along with. So,
Hmm.
um, D10, D6. Here we go.
Yeah, the D10 was going
7
to clutch
high.
it
Yeah,
there.
yeah. She's very willful. She's a willful lady.
So what does she say
Um,
back?
what she says back, don't cat. You know what? Okay, cat did anyway. I'm so sorry, guys. Time for cat to leave for good now.
Ah, that's what she says. Cat leaves.
Cat leave. Cat slinks away. Sorry, I'm the bad guy yet again. All right. So yes. Okay. So she says, Sir Harmon was a knight unlike any other. Is a knight unlike any other. And although he gave into his pride, perhaps more than Sa'alumer would teach us to, we all have our struggles. However, um, although I follow the light, I also uh, I have family. I come from a long line of Lutherists, and I believe in more than just piety and in more than just um, uh, duty. But sometimes I believe that it is our inner nature that should guide us. And my heart tells me now that Harmon is still alive, wherever he is. And I intend to find him and to do what I can to bring him back. This is uh, and I am sure that Sa'alumer uh, understands and shines his light because um, for although we are shown the path, we are all created as flawed creatures, and forgiveness is part of the teachings, is it not? So I do appreciate your words of caution, but this is something that I must do, and I am no longer of any here at the Abbey.
Yes, I would be hypocritical if I were to stop you and say, no, you should not feel your sense of love for him or wish to get him back. But of course, I
She
would beg you
takes.
do due caution, and of course to consider the other threats that may be along the way.
She nods. She says, I realize that it is foolish, but I think of myself as no fool, and I will
Hmm.
take every precaution that I can.
In
Um,
fact, perhaps if you could convince some to come with you to deal with a different problem, you could technically use them to help you along the way. Have you considered that there's a few of these dark areas in the mountains that then could go through the territory where Harmon will be and then arrive back out here?
ooh, that is so good.
If perhaps you were to make a case, you could have an entourage of others of the light and perhaps soldiers in order to make sure these things are secure and safe, while at the same time, perhaps they will assist you to rescue Harmon.
This had never occurred to her, honestly. In fact, you assume that she half expected her mission to be suicidal, but now that you point this out and show your research backing it up, yeah, the like a light bulb goes on, and she really likes this idea. But her enthusiasm is slightly diminished when she says the general here does not believe in these things. In fact, many of the military leaders are believe that this conquest over the Dolorio is the only thing that could matter right now. Um,
Hmm.
and I feel basically sidelined this far away from my mentors in Shalon Saldra. But with this evidence, perhaps they could be convinced. It would have to be a higher authority than the general wields here, which would mean making, uh, um, pleading, making the case to the, would it be the archbishop in the Shalon Saldra? The Holy See is in Triskellion.
It
Who's the
could be.
religious leader in Avoirdupois?
Well, there's 4 archbishops, one
Yeah,
for each kingdom.
right.
After that, you have bishops, which would be for each of the duchies, which aren't specified. I think there's specifically 5 duchies. No, 4 duchies after the destruction of Marteau. I'd have to
Mhm.
look up what they are because it's the Boulangers, not the Ardens, etc. And then you have after bishops, you have metropolitans who are in charge of the cities,
Hmm.
and then it goes down from there.
Gotcha. So you'd
Right.
probably need an official order from a bishop. Um,
Right.
Official
And
order. Wait, what level are we talking about? An official order from the bishop to do what exactly?
to go into foreign
to
territory to investigate dark, terrible sites.
Oh, well, that would help.
yeah,
But we can do one step. We can bypass that directly and go straight to a capitular order because the capitulars only report directly to the pontiff.
where would one find a capitular order?
I'm glad you asked. Um, the 2 big ones would be there's the Ardentines who are to the east of us in Arden.
Right.
That's one capitular order. Then there's the Pelaginesians, who are also a capitular order, and most importantly, a syncretic capitular order.
Ooh.
Meaning,
Oh wait, no, not the Pelaginesians. My bad. Who is this? Where are they?
Oh, the Pelagineses are actually like all the way over here. We've passed by them and commented on them quite frequently.
that's right. You guys
Yeah,
were going to stop there and then didn't.
yeah, that's that's syncretic.
Interesting. So we've got one of Wardepois, Ardent, and then one Delorio.
And
And
there's
kind of Abbess
definitely
who likes them both.
there's definitely one in uh man, I can't believe this escapes me right now. Too many books. I know
Yeah.
there's definitely one in Bisclave domain, but I'm forgetting where they are.
Mm.
They'd
And
be
then
a
there's
little bit far out there, unfortunately.
the Hospitallers can in theory be found anywhere, but they do have a specific monastery in Acoma.
Hmm.
And
Right. Yeah, and this is what most people think of when most people think of the word Templar has become gamer loaded like the word druid.
Yeah.
mhm.
Plus also people keep reading
Dan Brown.
uh thank you, Dan Brown. That's exactly
I
what I think.
got you.
Da Vinci Code.
I'm on your wavelength.
Right. Or Assassin's Creed. So
Mhm.
the technical title is capitular, which is you report directly to the pontiff. And they in theory can go anywhere they want.
Cool.
So if we're not, but we could also write to the bishop because it doesn't hurt. In the
Mhm.
words of my favorite Blackadder, we've written to the popes, all 3 of them. Um, so
And if all else fails, if
man,
there's not a single person who would seek to aid you, I do happen to have friends in Bruges. And while they may require a little bit of gold to ease their palms to convince them, I believe that if I were to write a letter and you take it to them, that they would be more than happy to provide you physical protection of some kind in my name.
yeah, and this may sound shocking, but we could just break the law.
I was literally suggesting
Yeah.
arming up with a gang.
Yeah, I know. Like the idea of now an ex abbess trekking across like war torn territory guarded by a bunch of street toughs from Bruges to stop necromancers and recover. Like I'd read that book. That's great. I'm
Yeah,
all
that's
over it.
that's a story here.
Wow,
Right? That's pretty
this
good.
is just a recipe for suck. Um,
Well, yeah. So
That would be
just
an
to
if all
refresh.
else fails.
Yeah, just to refresh everyone, Colette was planning to go to Phalon territory basically by herself, maybe with a couple of her acolytes that are loyal to her, which is kind of a suicide mission. But
Yeah.
sorry, the doctor, who has no name, right? But the doctor suggested that now that he has evidence that there's an unholy site in this territory over here, that she could get an official writ and some like actual like holy soldiers to go with her, and that along the way from where's my ruler? So then that along the way from here to the other site down here, she would kind of pass through the lands where Harmon disappeared and could investigate that. So she would have an official cover story and holy knights, paladins to help her on the task, which would make it less suicidal.
Yeah, but you're talking about going through the Rhodos. That's like lawless territory.
So yeah, you definitely need some kind of protection.
Well, I shouldn't say lawless. The Chevernays claim dominion there, and they have their own laws. When their
Right.
laws basically say they can beat the crap out of us whenever they want.
Yep. Those goat men.
Yeah, it's Niagara River. Oh my god. Yeah, no, and that's mountains.
It would be a very long trek. But
You're
the
not built
doctor
for
already
mountains.
is true. The doctor tried to talk her out of it, but she seems like she has an iron will, which
So
is
then
from
I
what we know of her.
instead gave her a great plan to work with.
It would make more sense to investigate this like we could go downriver, which is faster travel. We could
That's
go
true.
here and investigate whatever is going on in the
Oh, no.
forest.
We will probably investigate that one as it is closer and along our way, whereas those two are way out of our way and not places we're ever gonna go.
Yeah,
and
well,
she's just using it as a cover story anyway to get to the Phalon territories.
well, good luck and Godspeed.
Uh,
This just strikes me as a. I mean, I know no fear, but I also know sense. And like, yeah, that's just wow.
Yeah.
That is
I mean,
just.
it may more realistically be something like, where's my
Well,
drawing tool? Might be
she might
something like
go.
she gets transport down the river, up the river, and then makes a trek like there, right? And then
Hey,
maybe back and do over here, and then she can like say, "Oh yeah, now we're going to cut across." Boom, boom, something like there.
they're religious people. They do things.
right.
Yeah,
So at least she
protected
has
by
a
the light.
path to success, and I will write a letter on her behalf to Sarge's gang and hope that they can read.
Well, so what is our plan? Are we how are we involved?
We
No, you're
aren't
not.
involved in that. This is
Okay, well
me
then,
trying to make sure she doesn't go out on her own and get killed.
I would suggest to her that she should first, if she's going to look for, if she would look for people who would support the plan, she would do her best to stop at the Pelaginesian monastery, because not only would that be a place to get people who are skilled at fighting the supernatural, but also locals who would know something,
Yeah,
and you get a faster return than if you wrote to Arden.
yeah, that's not a bad
Yeah,
idea.
I mean that would be based on my geography, which I know. That would be my suggestion, because that way you could literally go downriver, which you could do 2 or 3 squares a day on the river, and get to here, and then go upwards. That would probably be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would take her through Bruges, which is where she could pick up some street tough bodyguards. So I think
So,
that's pretty cool.
Well, the problem is Bruges is Doloro domain, which means it's not friendly to Sommer. It's friendly to Ludorism.
That's very true.
So Pelaginesian and Syncretic, they have a kind of mishmash of Ludorism and Sommer, and they're a capitular, so they would be friendly. But
it should work out.
yeah, hey.
Yeah, I mean, she's not going there to ask for. She's not going to stop in Bruges and ask for like government sanctioned help. She's going to go there with like a name on a scrap of paper and ask around some CD bars, and then tell them that she knows the doctor and that they owe him a debt for saving a bunch of their men from lethal infection, and that they're going to then escort her to her next destination. That's
See,
like
I'm amused by this. You're gonna name drop the anonymous character.
the anonymous guy.
Yeah.
Right. It's That's pretty funny, I guess. Maybe not in the spirit, but I mean, he did spend a week with them and
It's okay, they'll
basically sat
identify
out
me by
of.
my sanctimony.
I mean, the weird part is
Yeah.
she would say, "You were saved by a nameless doctor," and they go, "Huh?" He talked like this. Oh, the Salmera mumbo jumbo. They probably remember the healing more than they remember the doctor.
Yeah, probably.
He's divorced himself from worldly affairs so he doesn't suffer the magical ties of worldliness. That's why the
Mhm.
anonymity gives him a bonus against magic.
Yelp.
Yeah.
I've got like 3 or 4 vows I attempt to keep on a daily basis.
It's all we can ask.
So yeah, I guess that's what I'm spending a couple of days do, just talking with Colette and kind of going, well, I'm kind of excited about this plan too.
I know, right? Like I said, I think it's the makings of a great story. So I
Whereas,
just want to.
Sir Connor, it's about time maybe I speak with you about something. You see, I had heard word back in Harrogate from sources that I shall not, say, that they have it on authority that there may be another strike upon the, upon Doloro territory, of Pro territory. Yes, there we go. From the south by both. I
Oh,
had hoped to divorce myself from worldly affairs, but I realized that this probably might affect your home in some way, and I would feel irresponsible to not tell you should we happen to part ways along the way.
thank you for thinking of mentioning this to me, Doctor.
Yes. I know we perhaps do intend to go to Fair Marouge first, but afterwards I don't know if you intend to follow up on, well, all of these things. Perhaps you might have other things to do, a city and people to look out for. And if that is the case, then I must give you this, and I will hand you over a letter.
Connor will take it and look up at the doctor. Should I read this now?
I suppose whenever you like, but it is in case we perhaps do not see each other again.
Ooh.
Until, and I guess you open it slowly right now.
Yeah.
You open it slowly, and you will see the bill.
Oh. Oh no. Brutal.
So let me go ahead and, just copy paste what the bill I've been documenting so far is. So
Nice.
that is about, 124 dinar at the moment.
At least you have 1 dinar for half a day's driving fee.
He keeps getting coachman.
That's great.
I do hope you come to Femarouge with me, where my family will be sure to pay this for you.
Right. It all depends on what happens along the way. There's several things that I think we should do. While we're in the area, we could always go to this area south of Bruges and to Lake Aube. And at some point, it would be worthwhile to return to Hane and tell our friend, the witch hunter there, about what we've learned and let them perhaps deal with some of these terrible things. Perhaps we could even have her escort Colette. I'm sure if they knew that there was a powerful abbess that they could travel with, she would not object. So there's a
Yeah,
great many things to do along the way, and I don't know if we can do all of them if we intend to go to Fair Marouge, deliver a letter, and then go back to Triskellion to help a man find his lost memories.
well, as I
We
said before, I cannot go into Triskellion. We've skirted
Exactly.
danger around there far too often.
I mean, we could just get on a boat and go all the way back to Alien, and
Yeah, I mean, like, if we're in Fair Marouge, we could, like, take the boat and then no one will know.
No, I'm suggesting we're in Harmony right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could take a boat and go down, here, and then get to Triskelion, assuming the war doesn't stop us.
Right.
and then look around for this guy. And then, this is always weird when I say this, like fetch another boat and go around the coast to fair. But that's all assuming that war, this whole thing is a war zone. So it's who knows what's going on. I mean, so we're not involved with finding the places of evil. We want to help Mercutio get his memories back, right? Or do we just want to deliver this letter and be done with it?
It's up to you. You guys got a lot of stuff on your plates, and there's a lot of places to go and stuff to do.
Yep.
Well,
There,
I kind of don't want to see the kingdom destroyed by evil.
as do I. I would be remiss to see that happen in my time.
Yeah.
So,
So I may just write a letter, tell them where I'm going and where to send the money.
I guess theoretically too, Anushka could deliver the letter herself, as she can fly and will get there faster than we could, if we just wanted to deliver the letter. So,
I'd still
Tessa's
be
letter
gone
to
for.
Half-Face Ludovico.
I mean, I'd be gone for weeks.
Let's see. If we started from here, that's like what? These are the
We're,
large
we're,
squares or
we're
the
looking at
small
one,
squares that take a day?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Small
7, 8.
ones.
I mean, we're looking at 10 to 11 squares. Even if I pushed myself and did 2 squares a day,
Mm-hmm.
that would still and flew straight as the bat flies. It would still take me like a week to get there, and then it would take me a week to 10 days to get to Triskellion. So we're talking about I'd be gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah. And if I'm gonna be honest, like as far as like medieval scheduling goes, we're probably like really, really fast most of the time. Like we barely spend a day anywhere.
Yeah, no, we're
Yeah.
we're going 6 leagues a day. Each one of these squares is 6 leagues. That's like 30 to 40 miles on foot.
Yeah.
So I know that doesn't sound like a lot, um, these days by automobile, but
Right, right. We've still been doing a lot of foot traffic and barely stopping and making really good time literally everywhere we go. So
yeah.
yeah.
So, and meanwhile, going by river, you can do 2 or 3 squares because you can't really do that 24 hours or you'll crash into something.
Yeah.
But it would take you like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it would take you about a week to get to the monastery, and then 4 or 5 more days to go to Triskellion. Once again, assuming you're not interrupted by anybody. The problem I have with all this is that this area here
Hmm.
is currently hot. It is having people running around doing
Right.
police actions.
And I'd like to avoid that as much as possible. My general suggestion is that we could choose between Hane and this little area between Bruges and Percival and try to deal with that. Then turn around and go to Lake Aube and try to deal with that. Then end up in
Yeah.
Chalons-sur-Saldre and then try to explain everything that's been happening.
Now, see,
And then go
that's
to
sounding
Rouge.
That's sounding way better because first of all, we're in Connor's domain,
Hmm.
so we don't have to worry about people trying to abduct him. Although when we get to Paraval, we might have to worry about that. But we're in Avoirdupois domain. We're on foot, and we eventually have to go to It's not Ferrabruge, is it? It's Firmarouge. Okay, so we eventually get the Firmarouge. Yeah, I think
And then
that
if we
makes more
truly
sense.
wish afterwards, we could take a boat to Triskellion, which would be the safest way with the fewest stops and the fewest people asking questions.
Well, and don't forget that down here in row 19 is also another evil.
Oh yes, there sure is, isn't there?
Yeah, so no, I like that route. So let's go ahead and head to either Hanet or to actually it's an X and an E, so it's Honit. To or Paravol.
Uh, I would say maybe we could go to Honit and we could get the help of our witch hunter along the way.
Oh, that works too.
All right, and from Honda,
Okay.
I can send a letter to home to tell them to send my allowance and
Hmm.
the doctor's payment to Chalons sur Soldre, which we plan to eventually get to.
Okay.
Yep,
At the
that
end of
checks
this.
out.
Okay. This sounds like a plan. So first things first. To Hone.
I think so. Yeah, we're heading back.
All right. Okay, so you guys head back. There is a road to Hone, and it seems to be relatively well guarded. You guys are, um, although you can see in the distance the toll that war has taken on the countryside. You can see villages that have been burned or abandoned. You can see every so often you cross paths with an improvised grave site where soldiers from both sides have been buried and their graves marked with simple crosses made out of sticks. Um, Overall, you just get this sense you can see in the distance the smoke fires of uh, large, basically like bonfires or possibly of burning villages. And there's just a very like dour feeling. You're
Mhm.
also haunted at night by the complete absence of sound of insects or
Yeah.
of foraging animals. There's something eerie and dead about the landscape.
Oh, random detail that crosses my mind. We technically have a
Hmm,
cart that is full of weaponry. I suppose at
that's
some point,
true.
Sir Connor, did you want to unload that?
Yes.
Alright. Rather than itemizing anything, Red, is there like a wholesale value you want to toss at us for that?
Yeah, that's probably good. Let me do some very quick and very sloppy abstract math here. I'm just going to look up the price of a spear.
I think it's like a dinar or even less than.
Yeah, a half spear is 3 dinar, right?
Oh,
So what I would say is multiply that by like 20. I'd say you probably have, let's say, 60 denarii worth of weaponry and items that have been pilfered that are in this wagon.
hmm
Of course, if you try to sell it to the soldiers in Harmony, they are going to say that this is actually belongs to the military to begin with. These were stolen weapons, military weapons,
hmm
and they're probably not going to want to deal with you. But if you can find someone along the way who wants to deal with you, then you could sell them. What is it normally for? Like, what is it like
20%?
20%?
Yeah, I don't think any of us have like haggling or anything that like increases that. Is that correct?
No, I don't.
I do
Okay.
not.
We're not talkers.
We
No, not
really
so
are.
much.
I mean, you should be,
I'm a
but
little. I'm enough of one.
we're
Yeah.
more
So
doers. We
we
Uh,
do things. We don't talk about them.
so I guess if we were to find someone, I guess I could make a quick gossip check to see if we find someone who's able to buy them.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, I got no successes on that.
Yeah. So
So we're
currently
still
you're
traveling with
just
weapons, I guess.
trekking around with weapons,
Mhm.
drawing some. Could probably draw some unsavory attention from I would say that if you you know what, if you tried to like if you didn't cover them with a tarp and you tried to take them into Harmony, they'd probably confiscate them. But I'm not interested in taking these things away from you. So we'll just say that you like
We
stashed
own a
them.
tarp, yeah.
You got a tarp, yeah. So you're still traveling with these things. They're relatively hidden, but
Okay.
on your trip to Honet, you have not found any buyers, potential buyers.
Okay. So then once we get to Hanet, let's meet up with our witch hunter.
Yeah, okay. So Bian, when you see her, is grumpy. I'll remind you she is a large black bear clad in very ornate armor in the avoirdupois style, and her man, Emilio, is seems sort of on edge. Like every time she reaches across to grab her mug of ale. He flinches slightly. He just seems like very, very edgy. And two of you see them. She says, "It has been over a week. The Inquisitor still isn't here. That uh, accursed creature is laughing at us from her cell."
Well, I do have news to make the wait all the better for you then. I know of places of great evil. I'm sure
Oh,
that must excite you.
it does. Her small round ears perk up somewhat, and she says, "So you found the the den. Then you found the site of her disturbing practice.
More than one, even, actually. It appears that there's a great many of them, and over 100 years ago, they were once active, and now they will be again.
This news, as horrifying as it is, does seem to delight her.
And while it is not my duty, as I am no witch hunter, I do yet feel responsibility to take care of it, and there are two nearby that at least I intend to go to, and I will share to you the location of the others. Our travels, I will hope, will go through them and deal with them each in turn. If you wish to travel with us, I would offer that extension to you should Sir Connor be willing. And we could be
I would be honored.
allies
to
once
have you
again. Oh, go ahead, Connor.
Connor would be honored.
I would
Yes.
be honored to have you both with us.
All right. She is effusive and excited to have this opportunity. She's not, I mentioned that she had this ornate armor, but of course, if you guys are speaking in a tavern of some kind, she's probably not wearing it because it's very uncomfortable to sit in full plate armor. But so she's going to bark an order at Emilio, and as he presents her sword, she's going to snatch it up and she's going to raise the hilt towards you, and she says, Sir Connor, I would be honored to pledge my service to you in this cause and scour this great land of unholy presence. Would you permit me to do so in your name? It would do me great honor.
You may. As I said, I would be honored to have you fight by my side.
All right. She takes a knee and bows. And yes, we'll rise to her full height. And she says, "Good. We can leave at once." And Emilio starts to sputter something out about how like the her mount is in the process of being groomed somewhere. But she kind of just like talks over him and just storms out of the room.
There is one small issue. There is a war going on.
Yes, no, that is true. We will have to take provisions and be prepared to circumnavigate. Emilio, there should be maps of the current troop positions. Perhaps you would know someone who would have them. And
Well, we did
raise
just
his
spend
palms
some
to the
time
sky.
talking to someone who did know.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah.
Um,
We had already spoken with Colette, who's
With
already
Colette, yeah.
deeply involved with such things. And
That's very
specifically
true.
given her a plan of which to skirt such things in the first place.
Also very true. So yeah, so you guys have a working knowledge of like where the front of the war is and what areas to be cautious of. So yeah, this puts her in even better spirits. She says, "Oh, great, we will lose no time then."
Well, I suppose every adventure begins with a overly uncautious step.
Yeah, she has that bit covered for you. So all right, so Bian and Emilio have joined your party. Congratulations.
Hey.
And if you want, I mean, Onion-eyed Datura is also still in her cell, still awaiting the Inquisition. So check in on her. You could do that too, or you could set out, or you could do anything else. It's an RPG.
Yeah, that is a good question. What do we want to tackle?
I think we were ready to go to Paraval. I mean,
right.
Nothing.
I suppose, yeah, we do want to go straight forward. We've done as much research. We have as much information. Terrifying the deer some more isn't really going to help, I think.
We're going to make a trek into... There's nothing else to prepare for. We're going to make a trek into evil in a war zone.
Evil.
So we will be fronting threats, both physical and metaphysical. But there's nothing else to do. We're seasoned veterans. We've survived so much, and it's for the greater good.
Okay. All right, then. Then you guys will set out and trek towards the forests east of Paraval, where you have marked on your strange necromancer's map that there is a site of great dark power here. As you head further and further, the sky becomes darker and more clouded with smoke, um, and generally overcast. It feels like the very land here is in mourning for the dead soldiers that have laid down their lives. And again, there is an uneery stillness to the nights, um, that just sets you on edge. Um, as you follow the map, it leads you to what looks to be, based on your research, 100 years ago, there used to be a village here. Um, but apparently, and this village was downstream. There's an artificial dam that was set further upstream that created a pleasant brook that they would use for, I don't know, transportation, cleaning their laundry. But at some point, this dam must have been demolished and flooded this village. And what you find now is a swampland filled with weeping willows, thick marshes that are hard to trudge through, even for Bian's war mount, and occasionally what appears to be the upper levels of what were once buildings that have now sunken into this horrible swamp.
All right, so this is a lot of water. This is more than we could simply trudge through, is that correct?
You can trudge through it if you navigate well, but it's going to be slow going. There's not a lot of high ground.
Want to
here.
walk through a swamp?
Well,
It's got still water.
Yeah,
Well,
there's insects. It's bad.
well, what I might ask is, Sir Connor, you picked up some farmers who have craft, right?
I have militiamen who have craft.
Yeah,
Hey,
trying to make a
congratulations.
boat.
They could build an incredibly simple boat or raft.
Well,
And
what
then
about the
I
wagon?
could push it with a stick. Yeah, we also have the wagon.
Well, you can't just like cork the wagon and float it through the swamp.
Right, which is why I'm suggesting maybe we just construct a very simple raft real quick. So this way
Well,
we have a solid platform with which to fight from.
Right. In
As
other
I-
words, we're going to disassemble the wagon and build I mean, normally I would be against this. I would say we should go around the swamp, but we're pretty sure that the evil is in the swamp, right?
Right.
That's all signs seem to suggest that.
Well, let's stop and build a boat. Hopefully, since this is a place of evil, no one will come by and ask us what we're stealing their wood.
Yeah, you haven't come across many folks around here, so
Well, we're also in a war zone, so we might run into,
I was considering giving each of them a different craft specialty, and one of them was going to be carpentry, so this is happiness.
and that makes sense.
So there you
There
go.
you
So
go.
your main
Okay.
guy on this would have at least 3 dice. You have Potter, who also has craft, and you have 3 other people who have craft because your last one is a coachman. So with Potter, that's 4 assist dice. If you want to abstract it, that would be a 2 rote, and then this could also be a 1 rote. So that'd be at least 3 successes if we just took our time on everything.
And I do believe Potter has team player.
Yeah.
Right. So if you wanted to roll it all out, it would
Yeah.
be, it would end up being 7 dice here. If you want
Right.
to just take the road, it'd be 3.
And wrote, I mean, with 3 dice, you will create a raft that can hold all of you. You might have to have like one person sort of behind pushing the thing, but it'll get you up and out of the water at the very least.
You all
And
have
yeah.
swimming, right?
Mm.
Well, at least I got my incredibly extravagant aluminum and gold stick with which to push the raft with.
I
Exactly
love
what
it.
its true purpose was.
Yep. As you dislodge it from the mucky sediment at the bottom of this like foot of water, basically, there's just like black stains dripping down the heft of this staff, and you're just like, oh, that's gonna need. It's in the filigree. It's in like the detailing. It's gonna need a scrub.
Take a
All right.
turpentine bath later.
Yeah, a little bit of spit and polish. And you all are so now you're navigating with this raft, and your entire crew is pushing closer and closer towards the epicenter of this swamp. when you see that there is a bit of ground that is not befouled by the waters around it. It is a raised plateau, and on it seems to have been erected a shack. This is not part of the original drowned village. This is something that is much more recent, and it's hard to make out through the fog and the tendrils of all of the wispy dead willow wisps around here, but you think you can see a figure standing. Its back towards you. In fact, you make out a couple of them, perhaps as many as 5, nearby this house. But they do not seem to be reacting to your presence.
Well then, I suppose we did in fact find some danger, huh?
It's not danger if it's not coming at you.
That's a fair point.
We're the
Why
danger, we're
don't-
going at it.
Exactly.
Basically, yeah.
Let's see here. Anyone who would like to roll me an observation roll can do so. Mind an observation?
Alright. Danger sense.
Do I have
I
that?
will give you danger sense in this case.
Well, that's 2 successes from me.
Nice.
Let's see, do I have observation? No, I don't. I just have danger sense. And then we have a Lail roll 2, which I believe is going to be 2d6 on a d8. And he's on the ball.
Nice. Okay. All right. So, anyone who rolled 2 successes, which it looks like Lael and Anushka, well, so as you guys are approaching cautiously these figures and you get a little bit closer, you make out that they are not in fact living creatures. These are effigies. They look like scarecrows. You can make out that their heads are skulls and that they are arranged in some sort of meaningful pattern nearby this house. However, Lael and also Anushka, right, make out that sitting amongst these scarecrows is a large hulking figure. You think that it might be a gorilla. It has its back to you, and it seems like it's covered in perhaps scales or something, but on closer inspection you realize that these scales are in fact the large black ticks that you found. Yeah. I know,
Did-
it's real bad.
Did we bring flaming oil?
I don't believe we did we?
No, we didn't. Okay.
Well, now we know
okay,
it's going to be a recurring thing.
That over there, that is evil.
Well, we are on a raft in the middle of the swamp, and we could always go ahead and just try to light it up from here. Does it look like there's solid land there?
With what?
There's solid land that the gorilla and the effigies are protruding into. There's also a small shack on it. But it's probably no more than 100 paces across of solid land.
Right.
I think we're gonna have to land, and
It would be safest for us all to do so and engage in that way.
Yes.
Ugh. All right.
Danger approaches, everybody.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. I know no fear, but I can know disgust. This is
Indeed.
just not going to be pretty. I think Connor is our lead on this because Connor is our heavy hitter.
They may, in fact, have similar magic to that old woman. They
Oh,
could
that
cause
would
you
be-
great pain in a large group, so be careful.
Not to mention, like, that island could be full of corpses. So
That too. This is a sunken village. I'd be surprised.
okay. My suggestion would be that since this is a horrible monster, that we should. So we've got militiamen.
Yes.
So you guys should stay on the boat. Let's gird them up with missile weapons. They can still shoot crossbows. They just don't have ranged combat. Actually, you guys have throwing, right?
And they do have throwing.
Did we stock up on axes or knives?
We have a bunch of short spears here. They could just throw those.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. But get the spears ready, and if the monster comes towards the boat, defend it. Or if anything comes towards the boat, defend it. And I guess we'll just leave them behind defending the boat. That way, if things go south, we should run. I mean, I don't think there's any shame in that, Connor. This is not,
Well,
a
there's none.
person. Yeah. We don't need to have another thing that happened in the Fate of Harmon.
Right. But remind me when we arrive at Hone again to pick up some insecticide.
Okay. Well,
Mm.
they would have that in Bruges. We don't even know if insecticide works on me.
I haven't tried.
And that's just basically, or as we call it in the Middle Ages, poison.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've got guns, which I don't even know can work, which are historically shitty to use on the undead. And a rapier, which is also. Hey, Connor, did you ever get your sword back?
I got a new sword.
Can I have my sword back?
You may.
Thank you.
There we go.
Okay, this martial sword would be better as a cutting edge as opposed to the rapier, and would be better served against them. All right, I feel good. And Connor, you actually have tactics, right?
Yes.
So it's worth my while to flank for you.
Yes.
Then I would be honored if you would accept me as your second, my lord.
Thank you.
I will be taking Lael with me, as Lael will serve an important function of taking down these scarecrows for me while I'm busy.
And I will. Lale will be glad to be protected by Potter.
Okay, so Lael and Potter can be team sabotage. Whereabouts are we going to be on this map to start with?
Ah!
Sorry. Pulling out a token for Lael and making him very tiny.
I'm huge.
I know, this is because we're reusing our old map, so the scale is all goofy. But that saves us some time. We're getting to the final hour of our session time. All right. We're going to add Lael here. Cool. Everyone should be able to control Lael. And hopefully you guys can still control your tokens.
I control Lael. Whereabouts should we be for this one?
So,
You said at
pick
least
an edge.
100.
Yeah, it's probably like 100 across. And when I did the measurement diagonally, this is like 80 paces across. So that's close enough that I feel comfortable.
So just start at the top right corner, I suppose.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and set ourselves up here then.
I still can't see my own token.
That's so weird because I can see you. Can you not see? There's another token that was already on here north of Anushka.
No, I can't see it.
You can't see any of your tokens. Yeah, I bet we're gonna have to make you a new character sheet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the
Oops.
sword again. And Connor, nameplate. You should be able to control it.
Yes.
And let me make sure that you can see the nameplate. There we go. Okay. So hopefully that around.
So you two can at least see where Connor is, right? Oh, there he is. Oh yeah, you see the green token. Cool.
Okay.
We got our one gorilla down there.
Yep. They have like a cool scarecrow token. It's a little weird, but I'll take it. Because we will need these guys to keep track of which of these guys are standing. Okay. All right. Now you guys rolled your you can use your last rolls as your initiative if you like, but if you would like to re-roll for initiative, you may do that as well.
I will go ahead and do so. I do have another die for initiative.
Yeah,
Potter
I'm good.
is going to rote.
I'm gonna rote. I'm good.
Alright, yeah, I just have my weapon.
Okay, and we're gonna assume that you guys are on land but you're like on the very edge of land here.
Mhm.
Okay. And my big monkey. All right, it's going to roll 2d8. Okay, cool. Yeah. His head turns around, like all the way around, and it's quite clear that he is a zombie of some massive size, and he stares at you with unblinking eyes that are clouded over, and he is focused. Do we have a new token for focus, or we're still using the blue dot?
I used. I think you're using the blue dot, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're still using blue dot.
I don't know which one's got. I don't even know how he imported stuff.
Yeah, it's blue dot.
Magic. Magic is how it happened.
Magic.
Yeah, he didn't bring over the blue. I used to use auras for this, but
All right.
Right, I still need to set up a macro for that. But yes.
auras are complement.
I am in fact using a staff. So I guess the question is it? I guess it's our turn to go, and he's just slowly walking, huh?
Yeah, he's just noticed you, but he knows that you're there. So you guys, yeah, you showed up, so you can start.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and run. After preparing a spell, Leo will run, but also guard.
Nice.
And that's all. 12 meters.
Checking my speeds.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't put the other regulars on.
I
Well,
did.
they're guarding the boat.
Other than the boat, you're right. Thank you for
Yeah, because we don't want a bunch of skeletons or zombies or something come out of the swamp and steal the boat.
Okay, so I've got a run of 18.
Plus, also, there's the problem that the undead, will do that scare stunt, then find everyone who's afraid and eat them.
Mm,
That bonus D12 to hit the afraid and terrified.
All right. Going to guard, dash, and run. So that's a total of 22, 23. We can go.
okay.
Wow. Way to go, boss. I'm gonna sprint after him. That is
You
a
could flying sprint. That's gonna be good.
6. Yeah. Well, he's still going pretty far. Then a
Are you just
Well,
doing
I
a
can't let
regular
you-
sprint?
I can't let you get too far. Oh, a dash. So I will sprint and dash.
Nice, nice.
Potter will likewise sprint and dash.
All right. We have Bian, who probably needs to run and keep up, and Potter as well.
Yeah, she's got
Yeah.
15 feet. Or
If
15
you would,
paces.
Potter's run is like 12 or something, right? Because he's all D6s, yeah?
Yeah.
It's 16.
Okay, so
This is
how
like
about Potter stays group up with me and Lael, because that's kind of what he's up to, right?
Yeah, so we'll guard and run.
There we go. So the pack is coming in, but Connor and Anushka are faster than everyone else.
Cool. Cool. Okay. Alrighty. And that's it for you guys, right?
That's it for me and Potter.
I think we've all moved then.
All right. So, the gorilla is going to stand to his full height and take a shambling step forward. And let's see. These guys have ghosts have a scare attack, but zombies typically do not. But I think this guy should have a scare attack because he's pretty scary. And he's got a roar.
Presence can scare. It's body, will, and presence.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
it's a stunt. Ghosts are incredibly good at it.
Right, right. Yeah, he has. Oh, he does have a will. Okay, cool. All right. So,
It's also pretty far away, so we will have penalties to that.
He does have a range penalty, but on the other hand, it's like he has plenty of time to recover from reeling before anything happens. So he could
Exactly.
move towards us and scare. He could guard and scare.
let's guard. In fact, instead of moving at all, focused. So, but he's gonna guard. Actually, yeah, I like him there. He's gonna guard and he's gonna try to scare Con. You guys, let's see. Yeah, so he's within medium, so that's a D12, right? Range penalty.
Yeah.
D8 and D12, so yeah.
Yep. So okay, so Connor, you're gonna take a D12 to resist this. He is rolling 2D8. Doesn't have any particular presence as a zomber. Sevens. Nines. Connor is undeterred as this thing howls. You see that its jaw is barely attached. And the scream that it makes cannot be coming from inside its body. It's like a psychic scream. But Connor has dealt with such monsters before, and he is undeterred. And that's it for me. Our dude is now reeling.